Democrats are looking ahead to the 2024 election, but things aren't looking so hot for big bad Joe Biden.
The president says that the economy is humming along, but that's not what I hear.
His team has been unable to actually assuage the fears and the doubts that Democrats have.
Polling shows Biden only has a 36% approval rating among Democrats.
And according to former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, Biden's going to have some competition, saying, quote, I think Newsom, talking about Gavin Newsom, running for president is a no-brainer. Joining us now, the Guy Benson Show, host on Fox News Radio. Guy Benson, hello, friend. Will it be...
Oh, hello, friends.
Will it be Newsom, who maybe is the nominee next year and not old Joe?
I would be surprised if that were the case, but I can't completely rule it out. So Arnold might be just stirring the pot here, but it's no secret Gavin Newsom is desperate to be president. He's been courting the left-wing base for months, if not years. He's trying to build name ID. He's getting familiar with a bunch of national donors. He sees himself potentially as a backup plan to Joe Biden. And look, if you're in his shoes, let's say you're a very ambitious, sort of greasy shark from California, and you have your eye on the White House, and you're looking at the President of the United States, his numbers overall, his numbers among Democrats, the majority of Democrats who aren't excited about a second potential term or a re-election bid. And then you look at the polling, and you've got like RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson combining for 20 to 30%. Those two, you might start to get a little bit, I guess, tempted. What were to happen if I jumped into these waters a little bit? I'm an actual governor of a major state that people have heard of. Maybe that number could be higher than expected, and then there could be some blood in the water. So I can imagine Team Newsom keeping a very close eye on this and keeping their options open.
I think it's a good point because, you know, I think the last polling I saw, RFK was at about 19%. You add Marianne in there, and to your point, Guy, they're together up in the mid to high 20s. You start to get those two candidates, which are really not the greatest candidates to challenge Joe Biden. You get them up into the mid-30s. I think that is the signal for Gavin Newsom to go, this is my time, this is my chance, and I'm going to get in because, again, he smells blood in the water. Do you think it's going to play out? Do you think you're going to have a tough primary for Joe Biden? Is this going to come to pass that Gavin Newsom gets in the race?
It's really hard to uproot an incumbent president who wants to run for re-election.
True.
Really, really tough. I'm not sure what that line might look like, that threshold in the mind of a Gavin Newsom. But again, that temptation, it's got to be in the back of his mind, if not in the front of his mind, and others as well. If those two people that we were just talking about, who, whatever you think of them, and with due respect to their supporters, they're sort of fringe characters. If you got a non-fringe character in there saying, look, we love Joe Biden, he's served this country well for 50 years, we're so glad he beat Donald Trump, a couple years ago, but he's 80, we need to turn the page, we need a new generation. There is a huge base of support for that message for someone who might be a little bit more mainstream in Democratic politics. And so I would imagine that Team Biden is kind of looking over their shoulder these days. And if things get uglier in the polling for Biden, look out.
What hurts him is Dianne Feinstein, that senator at 89, struggling and shining a light on Biden's agedness. The oldest U.S. senator does not recall her 10-week absence from the Senate when asked about her return. She said this, Feinstein, I haven't been gone, she said. You should. I haven't been gone. I've been working. The reporter, you've been working from home, is what you're saying? No, I've been here. I've been voting. Please either know or don't know. We could repeat that again. It's so astonishing.
It's sad, right? That's a sad exchange where it very much seems like the senior senator from California is unaware that she was out of the Senate for many weeks on end, missed a lot of votes. We wish her well in her health and all of that, but that is someone who it seems to me probably shouldn't be in the United States Senate. I know the voters sent her there. We're talking about making it tough to uproot someone in the context of Joe Biden. This is a duly elected U.S. senator, But setting aside all the power play stuff that the Democrats were mad about not having the votes on the Judiciary Committee in her absence, to see that transcript is sad. And I think it's not necessarily an age thing. It's a mental acuity capacity thing. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to be someone who's deeply familiar with her diagnosis. But that is obviously a tough red flag. And someone like that, I'm not sure, is in a great position to be representing millions of people in the Senate.
And to your point, it is sad. And just in the battle of the pink ties, Guy, I think I outpinked you today. I'm going to take the trophy. But nice try. Good effort.
Well, you just awarded yourself the trophy, Sean? Is that what just happened?
I outpinked you, Guy.
I think Dagan should break this tie, actually, so to speak.
I vote for you because you served me wine in your home.
She likes you better, Guy.
Yes.
Dang it. Guy Benson.
Pretty much.
Thanks for joining us. Get out of here. Get out of here. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.